So, Simon, this is what we know. Overnight, it's our understanding that these talks have been going on, and Joshua has until 5 o'clock tonight to decide what he's going to do. It's our understanding here that Joshua's camp are seeking an extra few million to step aside.
Yes.
Maybe as much as 5 million more to step aside.
Yes.
But the Saudis who are involved in all of this ain't going to pay up.
Yeah, I mean, look, and we can debate the vagaries and peculiarities of the professional fight game. We follow the narrative of what Anthony Joshua tells us, which is that he is a legacy fighter. We know that all roads lead to undisputed, but undisputed surely has to be the best fighting the best. And the best at this moment in time is not necessarily Anthony Joshua. In order to become the best, to make the Fury fight as meaningful as it once was, he has to redeem himself against Alexander Usyk. So what we seem to be in the territory, and commercial sense says don't do that because there's real jeopardy there, because if you lose to Usyk again, where are you? So the commercial sense overtakes the reality of what we're looking as a boxing landscape. Now, it seems to be that Anthony Joshua, with all due respect to him, is negotiating as much money as he possibly can to not fight Usyk.
It seems that way.
The idea is about how much money I can get to not fight him.
Is there a problem with that? I mean, from what I've heard, one of the extra million that he's negotiating would go to a charity.
Well, sure. I mean, if you're going to take an extra 5 and you're going to give 20% of it away, you're still 4 million up, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're still talking about an extra £4 million. And people say, well, it's money for nothing. It's not money for nothing because he's put himself in a position where he has been able to negotiate these things. And people refer to the situation when Lennox Lewis stepped aside in 96 for Tyson to fight Bruce Seldon. This wasn't the same thing. Lennox Lewis fancied fighting Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson didn't fancy fighting him. So it's a different dynamic. Clearly, the situation is. And also, Usyk has bashed up Anthony Joshua, and Mike Tyson at that point hadn't bashed up Lennox Lewis and never did.
Sure.
So for me, I think because we've listened to Anthony talk about the fact that he is the best heavyweight, he will avenge and fight everybody. For me, the real fight is having to redeem himself against Usyk. But the challenge is I don't think he thinks he really can beat Usyk, or he's in a quandary as to the risk profile of fighting Usyk, losing to him again, and where does that actually leave him? So he gets to go round the houses and fight for an undisputed when he isn't the best fighter to get that opportunity.
Well, that's right. I mean, this is boxing, we are assured, Trevor. We knew it was a fairly murky business, and this is proving it. I mean, at the end of the day, if ever the phrase money talks is the right phrase, then money talks. Yeah, and they're trying to make it talk here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a business. We've got to remember that. And these are, fighters that have got short careers a lot of the time. And I listened to Simon debating with Adam and trying to put Adam in his place. And I could see both parts of the argument. I didn't achieve it, by the way. Both sides of the argument. And when I look at it, I understand AJ has the rematch with Usyk.
Yeah.
And I think if he goes into that fight in a different mindset with a different game plan, he may be able to win that fight. He may not, but there's a chance he could, because especially in the heavyweight division where there's no weight control, there's always a puncher's chance, and AJ can swing. But looking at it, I was thinking about the step aside money, 15 million. The fact that he's trying to get more money. Listen, we all would. But stepping aside, romantically, and for the purist in boxing, I think you look at it and like probably like Simon's looking at it and you think he shouldn't do that. But actually, from a business sense, I think it would clarify the heavyweight division, because I think stepping aside would allow him to go in with Usyk. They would have their fight.
Yeah. Would allow Fury to go in with Usyk.
Yeah,
but his reward.
But then on the back of that,
he gets
because
reward.
he's still. Yeah, I understand he gets reward.
You think that's right?
But I'm not saying it's right, but from a business perspective. But then off the back of that, the biggest fight in the world, biggest fight on this planet, is AJ
Fury
against
AJ.
Fury.
Yeah,
and I think everyone who has any kind of inkling of interest in boxing would be interested in watching that fight, especially if that was turned into a trilogy.
I suppose that's right in terms of commercial returns, but in terms of the reality of the best fighting the best.
You're talking as a purist.
Well, I'm talking as a boxing fan. I'm also talking about the idea that undisputed is the end destination for everybody. Undisputed is when you've beaten the very best of the best, right? And when you've got when one of them's beaten you, and you refuse to step back into the ring with them because you're going to get paid to step aside. And by the way, it's you that put the rematch clause in there in the first place. Yeah. There is an element of, hold on a minute. And then we listen to the other side of the argument, which is Anthony Joshua doing interviews with Kugan Cassius, telling us what he's going to do, telling us how he's going to right this wrong, telling us about his legacy, then listening to him get off on the fact that I control my own destiny, I do this, and I will fight who I want to fight, and I will beat who I need to beat. And then we say, well, actually, no, you won't. What you'll do is you'll take a bag of money, you'll take a backdoor route. Is that what the heavyweight champion of the world looks like, or does it look like a cash cow? Because to me, the heavyweight champion of the world is a blue ribbon event. It's the biggest title in boxing and probably arguably in sport. And you get it by manipulating and strategically placing yourself out of harm's way to give yourself an opportunity.
Yeah, I know there's something quite
I don't like it, but I understand
You're uncomfortable, but I get it.
Understand
yeah,
it, yeah.
I agree with you, Simon. I mean, the bottom line is with Joshua apparently holding all the cards, is he right to squeeze the situation financially today? Is our understanding that another 5 million and right, I'll step aside? So we'll know this evening whether or not this is going to happen. That's our understanding of it. But maybe there's resistance to coughing up the other 5 million that Joshua's people reportedly want. The Saudis involved in this, and they're saying, nah, we ain't going to pay up. What is your take on this? Boxing fans listen to this show, particularly on a Thursday, we admit, between 12 and 1. But you're listening this morning, no doubt, and you're watching us as we stream live on YouTube and Facebook. What do you think of all of this? Is this what it takes for us to see, eventually, AJ in the ring with Fury? Do you back this, that AJ is being asked to take millions to step aside to allow Fury to fight Usyk, the winner fighting AJ?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.